Hello, I am Chuang. Let's draw a fire salamander, a commonly seen animal in Europe. There used to be many romantic legends about the fire salamander in France. It is named fire salamander because people first thought it was an animal that lived in fire. According to legend, someone used wet logs to build a fire in the early years, and saw the burned firewood turn into a fire salamander. In fact, fire salamanders hid in wet logs, and ran out of those logs in flames. People mistakenly thought they were animals born of fire. In France, many ancient families used the fire salamander as their family crest, which is quite romantic. In reality, the fire salamander is a strange-looking amphibian with colorful patterns. Its gorgeous patterns make it an animal that is both easy and challenging to represent. Its pretty recognizable patterns allow us to draw this animal vividly with ease. However, because its patterns are too obvious, they will affect our judgment of the entire body shape, making drawing this animal challenging. Therefore, when drawing, we should first avoid the interference of its patterns, and consider it an animal without patterns. We draw it without patterns first, then add patterns so that we can draw this animal accurately. In addition, it is an amphibian. Amphibians have their inherent structures. For instance, it has no nails, its torso is round, and its head looks like a frog. We should also pay attention to these features when drawing. Now, let's get started. First, we draw its head. At this position, we can use a very light dotted line to outline the general shape of its head. Draw an oval with the mouth part more pointed, and the bottom flat. When drawing its body, because the angle we choose is somewhat complex, we can first draw a line, a twisted S-shaped line, along the spine. And the tail can be drawn curled over like this. Since this line represents its spine, the parts on its lateral sides are symmetrical. We can first show the base of its thighs here, and then the base of its arms at this position. It has a very short neck, almost no neck. After pinpointing these four positions, the starting points of its limbs, we can draw them more easily. First, let's draw its arms. Its upper arm extends in this direction, and the forearm will block part of the upper arm. There are 4 fingers on its hand, the middle 2 are long, and the other 2 on either side are short. The arm on the other side is only visible with its elbow. Because it makes this crawling motion, we can only see this elbow as the body blocks its fingers. Next, draw its hind legs. This thigh faces the outside. Then, draw the knee and calf. The same goes for the other side, but the foot is invisible due to the body's block. We reserve the space for its body, probably here. This side is the same, its thigh is like this, and then draw the calf. It has 5 toes. The outermost 2 are very short and become longer, and longer toward the outside. The longest is the 4th toe. The big toe is short, the index toe is a little longer, the middle toe gets longer, and the ring finger is the longest. After drawing this foot, let's move to draw its torso. We can extend its body along the spine like this, and its neck is very short. The same goes for the other side. When drawing this part, we can use wavy lines because such folds will form here when it twists its body in this direction. Its neck goes here. Next, let's draw its tail. After finishing the upper outer margin, we should pay attention to its spine. we can extend the midline of the spine like this, making it into an S shape. Then, move to draw the edge line on this side. The end of its tail is a bit flat. We should pay attention to this shape when drawing. This method can show the appearance of its tail curved over. Now, we go back to draw its head. Draw its eyes at this position. If dividing its head into half, you will find that its eyes are in the front half, so we should draw them very close to the mouth. Use dotted lines to draw two balls. The part behind its eyes should be wider because there are two relatively large oval-shaped glands like frogs behind its eyes. Therefore, the back of its head looks broad. Its eyes are in the front half. Its eyeballs are shaped like this. Draw its eye on this side, kind of like a frog's. It has a relatively pointed mouth, with the mouth corner far behind the eyes, resembling a frog. A line connects the corners of its eyes to its nose, giving the front half of its head a slightly triangular look. Above this line are the two nostrils. Slightly show them. Then, let's add some details to its body. We can draw some folds to its curved neck like this. On the sides of its body, we can also draw folds segment by segment. As I said, this side squeezes, so the folds here can be denser. We can also draw folds on the tail. The tip of its tail is not as wide and flat as many salamanders. It is still a cylinder, so we can draw some structural lines to make it look more rounded. On the lower ventral side, let's draw some structural lines to make its body look more three-dimensional. Draw some spots on the glands behind the eyes to make them look rougher. Draw a circle on this eye to represent the highlight, and then color the rest black unevenly like this. Next, let's draw the most salient feature of the fire salamander, the patterns on its body. Let's slightly refine the spine first. Its patterns grow almost symmetrically along both sides of the spine. The patterns and colors of each fire salamander are different. We only need to know that large spots, arranged in rows, grow along both sides of the spine. There is no need to pay special attention to the number. For example, generally speaking, there are two obliquely splaying spots on the shoulders, followed by a pair of stripes behind, and then another pair. Usually, drawing 4 to 5 pairs is enough. Those patterns on the tail become semicircular web, meaning these spots distribute one by one around the top of the tail, no longer symmetrical but merged into one. On the legs, we can add some random spots since each fire salamander looks different. Draw more paired patterns on the side of the body. Finally, there are relatively long patterns above and behind its eyes, one atop each eye. Good. Like this, we've finished drawing this fire salamander.